Unredacted records obtained by The Nation and The Intercept reveal new details about the possible origins of COVID. The documents show the great lengths that Dr. Anthony Fauci and the National Institutes of Health apparently went to rule out the lab leak theory. Let's bring in Fox News medical contributor Dr. Marc Siegel. So The Intercept obtained unredacted email exchanges that involved Dr. Fauci and Dr. Francis Collins, the head of the NIH. Here's what The Intercept said in part, quote, "The documents showed that in the early days of the pandemic, Fauci and Collins took part in a series of email exchanges and telephone calls in which several leading virologists expressed concern that SARS-CoV-2 looked potentially, quote, engineered. The participants also contemplated the possibility that laboratory activities had inadvertently led to the creation and release of the virus. The conversations apparently, Doc, conveyed an anxious urgency." What more do we know about this?
You know, John, this is actually a surprise to me. Now, Jimmy Tobias, who wrote about this for The Nation, that's an ultra-left publication, so you can see that it's starting to raise eyebrows on both sides of the aisle. That's number one. Number two, I'm surprised about that email that I saw there from Fauci, who says basically, what is this furine cleavage site doing here? And that cleavage site is what Dr. Robert Redfield has raised all the questions about. In other words, it allows the virus to attach more easily to human cells, and it is not usually found in a bat coronavirus. What's it doing there? What are some of the other sequences around doing there? And there was a big stir over this, apparently internally. And Christian Anderson from Scripps in L.A. was involved in this. Now, I've interviewed him as well on this, and he said that over time, looking at different versions and seeing the fully published version of the virus, he was pretty sure that it came from nature. But here's the point. A narrative emerged from NIH, and that narrative was this came from nature. Yeah. I have interviewed Fauci multiple times from this. I'm convinced he thinks it came from nature, but the problem is that the other possibility was never given full air to breathe. And as time has gone on, John, as you know, they haven't found an intermediate creature, which is where it would go from a bat coronavirus. It doesn't just go from a bat coronavirus to man, and they've never answered the question about that furine cleavage site. One more point. Redfield says, how did this virus suddenly spread asymptomatically to millions and millions of humans overnight? And Peter Polisi at Mount Sinai, who's probably the world's best expert at this, he paused when I asked him that. He says, it doesn't do that. So, yeah, wet market involved, but lab looks pretty suspicious right now.
You know, some scientists were actively entertaining the idea that if it didn't come from a lab, if it wasn't engineered, maybe it did emerge from a lab somehow through animal experiments, something called serial passage, which is a type of gain-of-function research. Some scientists thought that they'd found the answer when they noticed that pangolins, these weird-looking creatures that kind of look a little like armadillos with dragon armor on them, were showing up with SARS-CoV-2. But it didn't include that furine cleavage site that you just talked about. But there did seem to be an effort here, an all-out effort to disprove the lab leak theory. Instead of, as science normally does, saying, well, here's a possibility on this hand, and here's a possibility on this hand, and we don't really know which one is true, it was kind of like, well, this one is worrisome enough, but this one's really scary, so let's get rid of it before it gains any traction. Why would they do that?
Well, I can tell you why. Because they are committed to what's called an international consortium of scientists. And the law, Obama was trying to actually push back on gain-of-function research and really was worried about it. But under the current law, for enhanced potential pandemic pathogens, as long as it's under strict supervision, you can do it. The problem is, how much of a strict supervision do we have in the Netherlands? How much do we have in China? And by the way, how much do we even have in North Carolina where this work is going on? So I don't think the NIH really wants to admit that the genie got out of the bottle, whether it caused this pandemic or not, because it's going on around the world. You could be a scientist, John, in China, but the Chinese Communist Party is looking over your shoulder there.
Yeah, and certainly suppressing anything that you're doing in terms of sharing information of what's really going on. Speaking to what's really going on, are we, Doc, ever going to really know where this thing came from?
We should have had boots on the ground in China at the beginning. I think even boots on the ground now would help. I think we need what you just called for today, open disclosure. We might be able to figure this out if scientists admit it, what was going on. You know, we should have a look inside these labs. We should know what's going on. And one more thing, a major study came out of Japan and the UK in the summer and basically said, in the meantime, you know, we shouldn't be doing these experiments that probe and push viruses to see where they can go. We can figure out treatments and vaccines without that. I think a moratorium is called for while we figure this out, but we still can figure this out.
All right, let's hope we do. Doc, always good to catch up with you. Thank you.
Great to be on with you, John. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.